I want to say something that shouldn't be controversial, but some insecure people call it controversial. Yamal at 17 is better than Messi at 17.
That's fair.
I don't think that's unfair. I've watched Messi's whole career, guys. Trust me.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Shirtless Plantain Show. This is the midweek weekend preview. Right? There's a lot going on this week.
Tons.
Yeah.
Tons happening right now, man.
Yeah. There's so much football on. I don't even know what even to say, but welcome. We got a lot of football to cover that happened this week. There's some happening this weekend. So stay with us for the ride. We're going to start off in Spain in Copa del Rey. Usually I ask the fellas how they're doing, but I know how they're doing. So let's do this.
Hi,
Y'all don't need to.
how I'm doing. Yeah.
Barcelona beat the brakes off of Real Betis 5-1. They have 5 different goal scorers. They beat their shit. They go into the quarterfinals. Gavi, Koundé, Rafinha, Ferran Torres, and Lamine Yamal all scored. It could have been a lot more. A lot of offsides calls. But the basis of this game is that Lamine Yamal is pretty much the best teenager we've ever seen, or one of them at least. He's flipping phenomenal. It doesn't make any sense. Every time I see him play, I'm just like, I have to check his Wikipedia every time to make sure he was born in 2007 or wherever they say he was born, because it don't make any sense. It really doesn't.
Just point that we often forget about these young footballers of African descent.
Yeah.
That nigga is 40. Lamine Yamal has children. I don't give a fuck if I know his daddy's Instagram. A teenager cannot be this good at football. This shit don't make no sense, but it's fucking incredible. And honestly, it's weird because that every goal in that game was fantastic, except the Real Betis goal, which was a penalty, a consolation penalty at the end of the game that Victor Roque scored. He didn't even get to celebrate against his old team that fucked him over. But Jules Koundé, man, I didn't know he had it like that, man.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Who does he think he is? Does Deschamps know he's doing this on his off time?
Yeah. Well, Deschamps is a racist, so probably not. So.
I mean, the boy successfully moved from center back to right back. Who knows what else he has under his sleeves, man? It's just impressive. And he's doing it just being a fashion nigga too. I'm really impressed. He took the crown from Hector Bellerin. So
I want to say something that shouldn't be controversial, but some insecure people call it controversial. Yamal at 17 is better than Messi at 17.
That's fair.
I don't think that's unfair. I've watched Messi's whole career, guys. Trust me on this. Every Sunday, Revista de la Liga in 05 and shit in 06. I've seen Messi from the outset, and yeah, he got a hat trick in La Liga. I think not in La Liga, in El Clasico at 18 or 19, I want to say. But yeah, and that was great. But what Lamar's doing, Messi went there.
And Messi didn't have a dad saying hustle hard 3 or 4 either. So
yeah. And Messi was fantastic then. But what we're seeing with Yamal is quite literally something I don't think I've ever seen before.
Yeah, Messi's dad just secured the bag consistently. That's what he did. It helps that he's not black. That said, I think those of you listening closely will note that Coach just revealed that he himself is older than Lamine Yamal, so that would make him at least 42. So this nigga watched Messi's whole career. How dare you date yourself like that on live radio?
Wait, so it's one.
Elche hosted Atletico Madrid and they got beat 4-0. They're playing against the Segunda side. What do you really want from them? Sorloth scored twice. Rodrigo Raquelme scored. Julian Alvarez scored. It is what it is. There's nothing really to take away from that besides they're better than them.
Pretty much, yeah. It's nice to see Alvarez maintaining his form. The team as a whole maintaining their form. I'm a little nervous about them because Coach suggested this a couple weeks ago. But I don't know why we always want to describe Atletico Madrid as a dark horse. They're really not. These motherfuckers spent $95 million on a player. But Yao Felix, obviously it didn't work out, but this is a big team with a big manager. They're not a dark horse. To me, they're among the favorites for the Champions League right now.
Yeah.
Favorites, not that dark horse shit, So be very afraid.
Yeah. Should be afraid though, Celta Vigo, because their goalkeeper's wrist was working today. There was 7 goals in this game at the Bernabeu. Mbappe, listen, that first goal he scored today. Mbappe let us know he's Kylian, and sooner or later he's going to be the top dog of this team because it was a controversial goal. I mean, they should have stopped it, but who cares? It's La Liga and it's Copa del Rey. It's literally the King's Cup, so who cares? Mbappe just had this finish where he just get defender with some step overs, and that was that. It was a good night, Irene, and smashed it. So
Was
Mbappe just. It was a post. It was like to the other side. All I just know is that Mbappe just did
It
it.
was an acute angle, so that's what gave it that aesthetic. So yeah. Mbappe. I feel like we say this every year Real Madrid, but Vinicius is fit again properly now. Mbappe, it seems to be finding some sort of form. Yeah. If they're clicking into gear at this time of the season, even if Camavinga's doing whatever the fuck he wants, basically, this past week hasn't been great for him. Them two will be more than enough to win the Champions League, guys. Let's not kid ourselves.
Well, here's my issue with that. They still don't have any defenders.
No. And you know what? That's a great segue, Dean, because they were up 2-0, and then they conceded 2 goals. Just a silly mistake from Camavinga let Bamba scored a goal, and then they had a defender clatter into a player, and then what's it called? Scores the guy from Chelsea. That was the defender.
Marcos Alonso.
Marco Alonso scored the penalty, so it's 2-2. Went to extra time.
That's how you chose to describe him? You couldn't just say the murderer?
That is true. That is actually
Excuse me.
That's why we know him. Like, it's not as if he's good at football. Like
I mean, he's a murderer, but also someone that is not afraid to do it again. I mean, he literally tried to murder Hector Bellerin, guys. Do you know? I'm sure you guys remember. It was really hard. No, genuinely, it was horrific.
Coach, please. To be fair, he wanted it more. Okay.
Yeah.
You know who else wanted it more? Endrick. Endrick had this shot, right, with his left foot, and I thought
deflected.
No,
Okay.
it was just pure ball striking. Just literally just hit it from outside the thing. And then you know what else? I felt bad for the goalkeeper because Valverde said, "You know what? I can do better."
Yeah.
And Valverde had one of his own trademark, just like bombazos.
I'm so glad you said trademark because it's reached a point where we don't even need to acknowledge this nigga doing this shit anymore. Like once he, excuse my French here because I know we're trying to be better in 2025, but once he cocks that thing back, it's over.
Oh, you're going mad still.
Yeah, my bad. It's real Sadiq hours. Real Sadiq hours.
Does the ball bend and hit that corner and say, "Well,"
the ball be tweaking.
Yeah, it's definitely a trademark. But what a trademark to have. If someone, they know that if you hit the ball from outside the box, usually there's a chance of it going in. That's a flipping great weapon, man.
I would like that in my team more consistently, maybe ever. Actually.
Less Sadiqs, more outside shots. And then Endrick had a little back heel and had his brace, those inside the box, hit it with the back of his heel. And there you go. So Real Madrid go to the quarterfinal as well. So
real quick, before we move on, are we happy about Endrick's rate of development so far? Do we feel like he's doing okay so far?
There's nothing to worry about. He's still a teenager, man. I don't. When players come over, especially when they come over from South America and they don't initially like set the world on fire kind of thing, I'm not paying attention until you're 22 years old. At the very earliest, I'm just like, oh, whatever. Like especially young forwards. Like young forwards are going to have ups and downs unless you're complete and utterly freaks of nature that are claiming to be 17, but really you're 42 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna knock Kendrick for not setting the world on fire at 18 years old. Like it's nowhere near as common as people like to think. People just like to look at exceptional cases and think that's the norm when it's not. So yeah.
Well said.
We're gonna go there's a literal example in his team, Vinicius Jr. Like Vinicius Jr. won number 28. He struggled, and now Vinicius is one of the best in the world. So he'll be.
I literally nicknamed him Vinicius Jr. Like literally. So that tells you that I was wrong. I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about, and I've learned my lesson. So I'm not gonna be fighting off Endrick. No.
Hey man, Karim Benzema was wrong too. Okay, a lot of us were wrong. You know. Like, opponents were saying he's with us. You know, Vinicius was that bad at one point, and now he's the best in the world, arguably. So fair enough.
Let's go to the Coupe de France. There's a lot of names here that I don't know how to pronounce because I'm not French.
I got you. Let's go. PSG 4, Espali 2.
Yeah, well, I don't know how to say that, and I'm not going to. It sounds like a French dish that I don't eat, like escargot and shit. Yeah, they got a little scared because Espali scored first. But yeah, they decided, you know what, we're better than you, and ended up 4-2. Goncalo Ramos scored. Bradley Barcola scored. I think Doué scored as well. So good for them.
Yeah, I don't got nothing to say about this. Like, if we don't care about PSG in the league, why would we care about them in the cup? Who put this fucking agenda together? Who did that?
Sadiq.
Who did that?
We'll take a wild guess. Let's take an absolute wild guess. I'll give you a clue. They absolutely understand it now.
Well, I'll tell you this much, motherfucker. I can't read. Okay.
You know who else can't read? Lyon, because they lost to.
I'll do it. Bourgeon Geleux.
Oh, hi-yo. Look at this cultured son of a bitch.
I read that. And I thought it said Bouillon Cube. But we can't read. But yeah, they got dumped out in penalties. So that's tough.
That's wild. Like, guys, do you guys realize that Lyon is probably going to get relegated this year for financial irregularities?
Yeah, and I suppose it's really, really sad, but just put the Ryan Cherky in the bag.
They just got Thiago Almada, by the way.
Yeah. Well,
John Texter's just doing anything. That guy literally just doing whatever he wants. He's a bandit.
Exposing texts. Yeah. He's been doing a lot of that recently. Like him and Nasser Al-Khelafi, they don't get along, man. I like this, man. Like he's probably gonna get Trump involved in their beef pretty soon. You see, just watch.
Trump's gonna create an office of him in the White House. Strasbourg, they won against Down. Yo, French people, y'all gotta really just come up with different names, man, because I don't understand what you guys are doing over there in France. Just making the names up. But yeah, Strasbourg are through. Brest are through. So Acans, which is also a movie place as well. Angers, Stade Brochin, Toulouse, and Troyes. I want to get out of France. I'm scared. They're making up names. They're literally making up names in France. I'm scared. Let's go to.
Man, your parents got to get a refund from that private school, man. Like you wildin'.
As a European, I'm even offended. Like, how is Cannes actually scaring you, bro?
Because I want to get out of France.
Because he only fucking watches the Fast and the Furious. And they don't show that to that kind at all.
Nope. We only do that for family, baby. Speaking of family. Bayern Munich, they're just rolling. They're about to win their 14th Bundesliga in like the last 13 years or something like that. Mm-hmm. They were just making stuff up over there. They beat Hoffenheim 5-0. Harry Kane got another penalty, 22 goals this season. So I keep saying, yeah, shocker.
Do you know what's crazy? I will never forget saying this. Yeah, last season when he first touchdown. I was like, once he figures out the refs in this league, just kiss goodbye to every single sort of goal scoring record, man. And it's actually just frightening how on the money that is. Like he's going to get 100 goals for Bayern by next season, guys. Probably by like the early part of next season. In fact, he might get it this season.
That's objectively insane. But I will say this thing, like there's been a stats revolution in recent years in the sport. And it's changed the game in a lot of ways. Some for good, some for bad. But I will say my favorite thing about stats, or the proliferation of stats, is the fact that we have a measure of performance known as non-penalty XG.
Yeah.
Because I'm so fed up with Harry Kane setting these fucking records every week based on penalties half the time. It feels like he scores a penalty every other week. It's insane. Like, shit ain't right. Like, I know niggas miss penalties all the time. Odegaard. However, people should not be. It's like a free throw, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, the net is big as fuck. Like, I'm not giving you credit for bullying one nigga in front of a big net, but you know what? I'm hating too much right now, man. It's still impressive. I can't.
Do you know, let's fuck off the penalties. Let's talk about some real beauty. Who scored the better goal? Leroy Sané in the first half or Leroy Sané in the second half? That's what we need to talk about.
Well, I can answer this question very easily.
Yeah.
I don't have ESPN Plus, so I didn't watch this game.
Okay, So we'll leave that up to the listeners. But for me, I'm going with the second goal because he absolutely he kissed it in. He absolutely kissed it in. The second one, he just lashed it, but it was so satisfying. But gone.
Does he have an afro now? Or is he still like sugar free? What is he doing with his hair?
Today it was sugar free.
Okay.
So he was pimping Hoffenheim. That's why Andre Kramaric was wilding at the end of the interview talking about.
Yeah.
If no one wants to do anything, like, what's he gonna do? Like, buy the club or something? Like, who's he threatening?
Here's the thing, right? When you go to Germany, you become German. It's like the Spider-Man Venom symbiote. Basically, it becomes you. So whatever sort of personality trait you have, you become German. You get so anything that you don't think you should say, you end up saying it because Germans, much like their Dutch counterparts, don't know what a filter is.
Imagine if this theory of yours existed in the 1930s.
Yeah, that would have been mental, actually.
That would have been nice, wouldn't it? The world would be so much better. It'd be so much calmer right now. Oh, well.
Werder and Heidenheim was 3-3. That game was just chaotic. There's really nothing else to say. Just 6 goals, just real Bundesliga chaos.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think one of the teams was up 3-0 at one point. Then I think maybe it was Heidenheim, was it? Or no, it was Werder that were up 3-0 and at home fumbled a 3-0 lead.
Yeah.
That's a fireable offense. Like, if you're the manager that managed that game, you're getting fired. Like, you're not getting on the bus. Fuck that.
Yeah, well, that happened. And guess what? Nothing we could do about that. Also, Dortmund, I know we're going to talk about them later. They lost to Lotion. Holstein Kiel hosted them.
That was an ass whooping. It's crazy because that was 4-2. And the last goal was one of those open net goalkeeper has come up to try to equalize. And Holstein Kiel were also a man down because Lewis Holtby came on and got sent off in 10 minutes. I didn't even know he was still alive.
I haven't heard. But the thing is, we spoke about him earlier this year. I think when this is the game where Bayern played them, and I think it's the same game where what's his name? The manager of Bayern, or my company, was dressed like Sheik Luch, if I remember correctly.
Yes. Yeah, that was the game. Yeah.
Which is why I was so upset when this nigga asked you about Leroy Sané's hair. I want to know the real question is, how is Vincent Kompany dressed today? That's a question every week.
I haven't seen today, to be fair.
Stuttgart beat Leipzig 2-1, and Leipzig strikers both got red cards.
So weird. Dumbass red cards too. Not like refs just being a little too sensitive. Like, people, it's a contact sport. People get physical sometimes. It's not if people aren't putting studs into each other's limbs. Sometimes it's okay for guys to just like push each other a little bit, even if someone decides to fall over. Like, it's okay, whatever.
I personally think they both got reds because they both want to come Arsenal. But
my nigga.
There's a player who plays for Stuttgart, right? He's not the most handsome looking player, but he's a brilliant midfielder. Angelo Stiller. He's not the most attractive looking person in the world.
Just say the nigga look like an anteater. It's okay, man. Like, some humans look like animals, but Gareth Bale looked like a monkey. Okay, this nigga looks like an anteater. Like, we have an ape in Syria that's been in nursing homes that coach hangs out with on his vacation. Some niggas look like animals. It's okay. Like,
I do feel like Oppenheimer. I feel like the guy that created the internet. I feel oh gosh.
And Angela Stiller feels like KRS-One. Okay, like shit, like, should be happy, man. Y'all think Angela Stiller got some nigga in his family, in the family tree? Like, it's like, that nose is egregious, man. This nigga taking up all the oxygen. Like, that is probably why he's such a good defensive midfielder, because when people come within 10 yards of him, they can't breathe no more. They just give the ball to him. Like,
he really knows us to sniff out danger. I'm so sorry.
Oh man, we are never selling this show.
You know what they complain about the other team when he's next to them? They say he's too nosy.
This is so dumb.
Oh gosh.
I'm in Italy, man. I'm tired. Inter, they tie with Bologna 2-2. Dean, this is your place. You take this. This is your team.
This shit is upsetting, man, because this is not the sort of result that Inter should be succumbing to it. I mean, it's a home game to Bologna. Like I think Inter are so focused on the fact that they're trying to buy Bologna's striker. I forget his name at the moment, but he's someone they're looking at, and he actually scored against Inter, so they're going to buy him for sure now. But DiMarco, per usual, was good. Dumfries scored again. It seems like he's scoring every week for the past month. It feels like, but yeah, they dropped points again. Santiago Castro, that's the guy's name. Yeah, he's fantastic. But I don't know, man. I still think Inter are going to do it. I still think they have a game in hand on Napoli, so that does give them some cushion. But this was a bad result for them. Bad result. And on the same day, Inzaghi got the Coach of the Month for December award. Then his team fucked them up. Like, come on, man. Like, it's crazy, man. It's like looking at Mkhitaryan's hair, man. I don't like that shit.
Your boy didn't score though, Coach Marcus Thuram, but that's neither here nor there.
But his assist for the first goal.
Niggas telling me about my boy like I even know who that guy is, fam.
Lie. Man, I'm telling you, bro. Come on, man. Did you see this, Coach?
No, why am I wasting my time watching flipping?
No. Forget the agenda. You need to watch this when you get a chance. Like, you need to watch what he did on that goal.
No, I will. Do you know what? I actually will, but again, life be lifing.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, like, maybe he doesn't have Jonathan David's barber, but he's still a better footballer. Okay, I know that's the real difference. You're like, oh, this nigga look like he look like he work hard and shit. So I respect him more. Like, whatever, nigga.
You're sick. We're going to England, man. I'm not dealing with you today. Brentford hosted Man City, and that was 2-2. It was great because Foden scored. City were feeling good. They were up 2-0, and then guess what? Wissa said, "Hey, I don't like that, but I understand it now." Now Wissa scored, and then Brentford scored again, and ended up 2-2.
Yeah, man, that boy Damsgaard is special. Like, I don't know that he contributed to the goals because I turned the game off when it was 2-0 because I assumed City would hold out. They didn't. Hilarious. But Damsgaard, man, he might be. I mean, the speed with which he's accelerated from failed transfer to good player is kind of insane. Because I thought he was a dud, and he is killing it right now, man. He was making some passes in this game. They didn't lead to goals, but that boy can really run an attacking midfield. He's fantastic. And Coach, speaking of attacking midfielders, you said something about KDB. Like, I didn't quite see it. What happened? What did he do?
The cross for Foden's goal just shit like that just pisses me off because you don't need to do that. You don't need to be that good because it's just a reminder of all the hell you've caused us. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we know you're on your way out. Like, just go out gracefully. Don't do shit like that where it's just like, oh my gosh, he might be back. Like, it was such a good cross that it actually made me racially abuse my cat.
His cat is black, by the way, so it's fine.
Chelsea 2, Bournemouth 2. This game was fun because I posted this up in the chat because Cole Palmer scored, right? And someone said that when Cole Palmer scores, that's it, game done. He came to do what he needs to do. He ain't passing, he ain't doing nothing else. That's it.
Peak Carmelo Anthony, Cole Palmer, same player. Like, oh, I got my 30, I'm out. Like, y'all lost, not me.
I respect players like that because they know what their job is. They know they ain't there to fuck around trying to trap back, fuck around trying to, G the team up and the crowd a bunch. It's like, well, you give me the ball, I'll do what I need to do, and well, I'll catch you guys in the showers.
Pause.
That was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy.
That was crazy. But yeah, it was nice to see Reece James though. I mean, I didn't even, he has those hamstring issues, fitness issues, and to just see him healthy and to, he didn't start the game, I don't think. But,
no, he came off the bench, scored a free kick, very cool.
And didn't get hurt. So that to me is a huge success for him, Antoine Semenyo though.
Yes. You know what's funny? I forgot that Semenyo he's Ghanaian, obviously, played for the Ghana national team. I forgot he was born in London because when I saw the video you guys sent me about how he was like moving up the ranks in England, I heard his accent say, "Oh yeah, he's a London boy." But yeah, that goal was stupid. That was a great finish.
Yeah, he's very much on the cusp of potentially getting a big money move to. It might not even be in England. He might go somewhere else in Europe because there are a lot of teams that could do with his talents. Genuinely, even if he was become a squad player at somewhere like Arsenal or somewhere like I don't know, fucking Bayern Munich, let's say, right? Because they're getting rid of a few wide players soon as well. That wouldn't surprise me at all. I think he's that good. My one concern with him is we want to see more goals for the positions that he gets in, for the chances that he creates for himself alone, kind of thing. If you're going to survive at one of the top teams, you're going to need to put up double figures regularly. Go on.
You know who else needs his talent?
Oh no,
Ghana.
go on. Yeah, well, we all know what happens when you put on those shitty Puma kits. So
no, but what I was going to tell you is that they need their talent because guess what? They're not going to AFCON, but we are.
but we already knew
that. Never forget. We're also taking a Malian coach. I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me. I've never felt more like a Daily Mail reader than when Nigeria hired a fucking Malian coach. Like,
with green eyes.
On, man. Give me my white man. I want my Igbo.
No, for real.
We hired a Malian coach. We had a Malian coach with green eyes.
Yeah, it's the most unfamiliar feeling ever.
It's progress, though. It is. Like, low-key, it's progress. I kind of like it. Yeah. I mean, Stephen Keshi coached, was it South Africa at some point? I don't remember. He coached some other African country. You know, whatever. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
We're rooting for Eric. What? How do you say his last name? Shell?
Shell, yeah.
Shell. Eric Shell.
He's the guy. He's the guy that they pour water on.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah, they gonna treat him like that white dude with the white t-shirts and shit. What's his name? Herb Renard.
Herb Renard, yeah.
Yeah, that's how they're gonna treat that nigga in Lagos and shit, man. Like it's gonna be hella antis with that, you know, that shit right there.
Yeah. Oh my god.
They're gonna be all on that nigga, man. They're gonna be all on him. So
they make the best asaro, like honestly.
And he's gonna gain weight.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they got an extra ingredient. Salt.
Armpit sweat. Hey man, like y'all notice that Eric Shell look like I know we on a wild tangent right now, but he looked like Ime Udoka.
No, you know what he really looks like? He looks like Ime Udoka mixed with who's the rapper with the green eyes? That looks like
Yeah, you too focus on niggas' eyes, man.
No,
let's move on.
He looks like Eric Sermon.
Ah, that's a good shout.
What?
That's a good shout. If this nigga knows Eric Sermon, he must be 50.
Of course I know Eric Sermon. Just like, of course, man.
That's not the Eric Sermon I respect. Let's move on.
Yeah. West Ham beat Fulham 3-2. Graham Potter, he's a wizard. He got his first win, so good for him.
Yeah, man.
Good for him. Iwobi was active, so that's all we care about.
Funny enough, both of these goals, right, were the exact same thing, and they've given it to him. And everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Iwobi scored 2 goals." I was like, "Yeah, guys, have you seen?" Like, no, all respect, like I love it personally, but it's like I feel like there's a conversation to be had about goals like that. If that makes sense, like, can we award it to the player? I know they got the last touch, but
yes,
you know, like
we can.
Put it like this, right? And just walk with me here. You play FIFA, right? You play FIFA, and you go through on goal. Let's walk with me. You go through on goal, right? And you press the pass button, right? But you don't, like, it's a manual pass, and you pass it into the net. You know, when you go to the stats after the game, you know that those, let's say you win 2-0, right? Those 2 goals don't register as shots. You see what I'm saying? So it's like there's a conversation to be had here about, do we count those as shots? Do we count those as goals? Of course, you have to count them as goals, but it's like, do you get what I'm saying?
I think I can solve this.
Yeah.
Alex Iwobi is notoriously a shitty ball striker. Any contact he gets on the ball is a shot. Even his passes are shots. So let's just give it to him. You know, like, we're not taking nothing from our Nigerian brother.
That is true.
Speaking of our Nigerian brothers, Olaina and his Nottingham Forest side hosted Liverpool, and that game ended up 1-1. Olaina, after the game, has some wonderful Snapchats. That guy's hilarious, by the way.
Why is he still on Snapchat? Who uses Snapchat?
Apparently, Snapchat's become a really big thing again now.
Huh. Yeah, I wouldn't know. I quite literally haven't used Snapchat in about a decade.
I haven't cheated on my girl in at least a decade, so I don't need Snapchat for shit, you know. So
just Snapchat's really become a thing now. Like, I've, obviously I work in social, but like, I've really like done the research. Snapchat's becoming a thing now.
It baffles me, man. I'm even scared to open the app. I'm scared to what they're like, for real, because I used to use Snapchat so much back in the day. Like, I was the Snapchat guy, like. And then one day I just woke up one day, I was like, oh yeah, this ain't it for me anymore.
I don't know. I barely use it, and I only ever use it when people were nice enough to send me pictures of themselves in certain compromising poses that they didn't want me to
Justin,
keep.
what's the next match, please? Like,
Wait, hold on. Now we got to talk about Liverpool and Nottingham Forest. This was a top of the table clash. We're not just going to slide by this shit. I mean, this was 1 versus 2. This was a big fucking game. Nottingham Forest have now taken 4 points off the presumptive champions of England. That's kind of crazy, you know. But to be fair to Liverpool, that second half was impressive. They really brought the smoke.
They slapped their heads, like no bullshit. Like Arne Slot just sent them out there, and the players responded. And I really fucking hate Diego Jota. Like
he's always scoring for no reason.
I just hate his hair. I just hate how he's so unassuming, but he's so deadly. Like, just fuck off, you dickhead, man.
Stop doing your job so well.
I don't like him.
He's just a piece of shit, man. Like,
yeah.
There's a guy on Nottingham Forest. I forgot his name, but he looks like every Portuguese player that ever played in the Premier League.
Jota Silva, Jota, or whatever.
He looks like the guy that that ended up going to Saudi that was annoyed with Arsenal celebrating a win. What was his name?
Ruben Neves.
That's the one.
But he looks like Jack Grealish, and he looks like Pedro Neto. He looks like literally every Portuguese nigga ever in one man. It's impressive.
Looks like Ruben Amorim.
He looks like Bruno Fernandes.
No, nobody looks like Bruno Fernandes. Let's be fair.
He looks like Luis Boamorte.
Oh man, you about to say you look like Angela Stiller next, huh?
Oh.
Not that nosy. Everton hosted Aston Villa and lost. David Moyes' return to Goodison was not good.
It's crazy because I'm kind of rooting for him. Like it's too romantic a story not to want this to work, but I don't know, guys. Like if Sean Dyche is looking at a situation and saying to the owners, like I think I've run out of road here. I don't know what else I can do for this club.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that anyone can save them. Like literally, the Stone Cold of football tapped out. Like he tapped out. Like this is WrestleMania 17 shit. He tapped out, guys. Like it's crazy, but I wish Moyes the best, but he don't got no horses, man. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he was out there doing some bullshit, shooting like he was Iwobi. Crazy shit, man. Like,
I'll go on record and say that while we know Southampton are definitely and absolutely positively relegated, this second half of the season could be really ugly for Everton. Really, really fucking ugly, man.
Listen, man, I just need them to give my club the 3 points. The rest, I don't really care about. They can launch their new stadium and the championship.
Take some points to Liverpool as well, please.
They won't.
Inshallah.
I'm telling you right now, they're not going to do that.
The last Merseyside derby at Goodison with Moyes as coach. Let me tell you something about stories, guys. If Carlsberg made stories, I'll leave it there. Yeah, I've earmarked that fixture. I'm gonna watch it and hope for the best. So,
didn't hope for the best. Crystal Palace, because they went to Leicester, and before the game, Chelsea decided to call it Trevor Chalobah. Just sickness. So what's wrong with them?
So here's the thing, guys. Never ever expect anything good with Chelsea, and I don't say this as a hater. I say this as a human. There is nothing redeemable about Chelsea. There's nothing nice about Chelsea. The only people that like Chelsea, ironically, aren't Chelsea fans. They're Nazis. No, seriously, guys. There is nothing you should be celebrating about Chelsea, about what they've done in the past, what they will do. Nothing good about them. They are callous, wicked, shameless. A collective of unrepentant cunts.
How do you really feel? Please tell me, how do you really feel?
Oh yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much how I really feel. So them doing that to Chalobah after they forced him out of the club, by the way. After they gave João Felix his number while he's still at the club. After they kicked him off the US tour. Yeah, this is an Academy Cup product, by the way. Just so you know. It really sickens me, and the thing is, when he went to Palace, right, I was rooting for him so hard because it felt like such a perfect fit. Like, culturally with what Palace are trying to do with the three at the back, but also just with the core that they have at the club already, like the likes of Eze, Wharton, Eddie there as well now, like good young players, good Gahey obviously, good young players for them to kind of grow together, and then Chelsea pull this dumb shit, like, and it's only to sell him. They're trying to get some money from him in January, clearly, I'm sure, because what are they going to use him now? They didn't want him 6 months ago, so what's happening?
PSR, baby.
Yeah, they're just everything I said about them. I mean it, and I mean more than that. I just can't say what I really want to say. But yeah, fuck them, man. Seriously, it's horrible.
Well, Rude lost again. Crystal Palace beat them 2-0. It's rough.
But Mateta scored, which always makes me happy.
And Mark Gahey scored as well, another Chelsea product. So good for him.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if they tried to call him back as well and say, yeah, we used to own him. That used to be our. That's how Chelsea feel. No, that's how Chelsea are. I'm sorry, guys. Like,
oh man, that's a really wild way to disrespect the day Drogba on a fucking Thursday night. But, let's carry on. Let's just carry on.
Ipswich lost to Brighton 2-0 as they hosted Brighton. They lost 2-0 though. So I know you had something to say about Pedro and the goalkeeper.
So Hurlitzer is a cunt, guys. And he sends his players out to hurt the opposition. That much is clear to me now. And what João Pedro did to, so I forget his name, the Ipswich goalkeeper. How can VAR look at that and say, yeah, we're fine with the yellow? Like, he essentially, Darren Sharper, hold my dick, to the goalkeeper, basically. Like, he bodied him. Like, there was no need for it. And it's very, very clear. You watch the replay, you watch his body language, and look in his face. It was going to hurt the goalkeeper. That's my take on it anyway. And it's clear that it comes from the coach, as far as I'm concerned.
I think you're right, because we've been watching João Pedro for a minute.
Yeah.
When he was at Watford, the last few years at Brighton, and he wasn't doing shit like that until this season. He was the one that almost took someone's head off with an elbow a couple weeks ago as well, right?
This is what I'm saying.
So yeah, maybe you're right about that.
The coach is a wanker, and someone needs to set him straight. Please let it be me.
Arsenal, Tottenham in the North London derby. Arsenal won. We have Coach's Edition out live from the game. You're also going to have the Arsenal with Coach and Mitch coming out soon, so please watch out for those. Arsenal did their thing. Wasn't the sexiest of games, but guess what? Arsenal won, and that's all that matters. Get your 3 points and go home.
Yeah. Go on, Dean. Rap for us, please.
I don't have a lot to say because that noise was my dinner, so I got to go get that shit out the oven. So you say more shit, and I'll be back. And if you're still talking, maybe I'll interrupt you.
How was the experience at the game?
Do you know what? It's just, I think I mentioned some of it on the instant reaction, but Derby Day is always great because you're reminded of what it is when you come out of Highbury Islington or even Arsenal Station, to be honest, and just see a bunch of police.
I have a question for you, by the way.
Go on.
How's it feel to watch my little Skelly and know that he never got to see never got to see Highbury?
Well, to be honest, this is his Highbury, innit?
I know.
Do you know, that's such a really good question because there's a whole generation of footballers and fans that don't understand, that don't know Highbury, that just won't understand it, kind of thing. And I think that's, in a way, it's a little bit sad, but also it's really fucking cool that we've been able to move from one of the most iconic stadiums in the world to this one, and now with this sort of younger sort of generation.
Coach, be quiet. I'm working here. Y'all see this? Y'all see this fucking skill? Y'all see this? This is real football. This is real ball, right? This is heritage right here, man. Respect my fucking skills, people. Okay,
we're talking about Miles Lewis Skelly's bring me some fucking mac and cheese, man. Like, I can't believe this shit, man. But
we've gone off the rails today. We have.
But yeah, I think it's really cool that some people just they'll see the Emirates and it's like, to them that's home, like that's home kind of thing, and that's only possible because of Highbury. The success we had at Highbury, bled into what we have at the Emirates now. Like even the idea of Colney and shit like that. We bought Anelka who played at Highbury for 500,000, sold him for 23.5, used that to fund Colney kind of thing. Now youth players train at Colney and shit. Yeah, man, I'm just really, really happy for all of that.
Dean, we'll just say how there's a generation of Arsenal players, including Miles Lewis-Kelly, who's never seen Highbury, and there's fans like that too. That, for me, objectively speaking, that's one of my favorite stadiums ever. Like, there was just something so cool about a stadium that small. It was just cool. Shit was cool.
Yeah, small stadium, big wins.
Yeah,
that fucking much. Because I know there was a little bit of shade in that. Like you're trying to compliment, but you're a United fan, so I don't trust you.
I wasn't even being shady. Because if I wanted to be shady, I would have said something shady. I'm not Wendy Williams. Okay, I don't run the shade room. It's not what I do.
All right, Angelo. Okay.
And last but not least, Man United beat Southampton 3-1. Tommy and I have talked about that. It's at live now. The only thing I got to say about that is the greatest Ivorian ever. Both of them don't have perms. That's all I got to say.
Oh, man. And I think
that was shade. That was shade.
We skipped over Newcastle 3, Wolves 0, I think.
I don't give a fuck about Newcastle. They can burn in hell.
Don't let them see you sweat. Come on, don't react. Okay,
yeah.
They got their little wins. It's fine. We'll get them back. Relax. It's cool.
Isaac is really, really good at this football thing.
That is the best striker in the league right now. That's straight up and down.
He's probably the greatest East African to ever play football.
Huh?
Yeah. Actually, no, he's not better than my mate Abdi from the Cages.
What's funny about that? I think it was Willick, right? He tagged him on Instagram because there's this content creator, Abdi Shuffle, who does all the step overs. He tagged him and said, "This is him, as Abdi Shuffle." So it's funny you said that.
I'm chuckling, but I don't know what any of that meant. I heard a shuffle. I heard an Abdi. Is wild, man. It's wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, impressive footballer, and I want to state this for the record. As much as I would love him at my club, Arsenal fans, you need to get over that shit. It's not happening. By the time he's within a reasonable price point for Arsenal would have bought someone else. So just get the fuck over it. It's not fucking happening. Ever. Deal with it.
A man can never give up on his dreams. That's what I'm going to say.
Stop dreaming about niggas, okay?
Unless that's your thing. We don't judge.
Which we don't judge, but,
No guys are judging. They're older phobics, guys. Let me tell you.
Let me tell you something. So there's games this weekend. I saved this for you guys to know. So we're going to give you guys some games to watch. Well, I'm going to give you some games to watch. In the Premier League, we got Newcastle Bournemouth. That's going to be delicious. Then we got Brentford Liverpool.
Is Brentford Liverpool on a Saturday or Sunday? I need to check that.
Saturday.
Okay.
It's going to be a lot of transitions. Going to be a lot of transitions in that bitch.
Then we got Arsenal Aston Villa on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even watching that.
Then we got Man United and Brighton on Sunday.
Okay. You guys have got a little history with Brighton, to be honest. You guys want to get some revenge.
Y'all Pedro about to beat these niggas up. Those people's elbows on everybody, man.
Yeah. We sent Harry Maguire to Greece the day before.
Listen, man, he's met Harry Maguire too. Okay, like you have nothing for that man. Nothing. I wish you luck.
In Ligue 1, we got Lille versus Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got PSG versus Lens.
Who Brest playing?
Victoria's Secret. Serie A, we got Juventus versus Milan.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got Atalanta versus Napoli.
And
then in Bundesliga, we got Frankfurt versus Dortmund, which they might not have the Egyptian. And then we got Leverkusen versus Mönchengladbach. And that rounds it up. In La Liga, there's not that many fun games. It's like Getafe versus Barcelona.
I genuinely am offended, that Brentford Liverpool isn't on TV. But they managed to put those dickheads.
Not for you. For us, it is.
But Newcastle versus Bournemouth is fuck off, you wank.
How about you try living in a real country? Huh? Coward. Over there living in Brexit land. Come to America where we have many TVs. You guys share one TV in that whole country, don't you?
Let me tell you something right now, yeah. That is the funniest advert of America for America, because that quite literally is it. Everyone in America has a TV, and that's the fucking problem.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man. Like, if you're trying to figure out, like, what is the number one indicator of GDP for a country? How many TVs y'all niggas got? It's us, it's China. Boom.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And yeah, that's the problem. Yeah.
And we're not fixing it. Get like us. broke ass country. Send some private equity niggas over there. Go fuck that place up, man.
Here's the worst part. It's only gonna get worse, baby.
Only gonna get worse.
We cannot read, we cannot write. We are illiterate in this country.
Hell
And
yeah. We were all left behind. Hell yeah. Thank you, George Bush.
And we're gonna get worse. Anyway, anything y'all got? Yeah, anything y'all want to talk about before we get out of here?
Yeah, I'm really tired, so please let me go to bed.
Yeah, that's enough. Fucking enough.
It's 2:40 a.m., guys. Just so you know,
Go to
I love
bed.
you so much.
I don't want. Like, I want to be clear. This nigga lives in London. I don't want niggas thinking that I'm making mac and cheese at 2:40 a.m. I'm not a fucking psychopath, okay? Like I'm a lethal podcaster. That's it. Like I'm not a psychopath.
Guys, he's done it before. Like he absolutely has. So yeah,
that's fair.
But yeah, I love you guys so much. That's why we do this shit. You all do. And yeah, be excited for 2025. Cool shit is happening and shit. And be good to yourselves. Be good to your families. And stop watching TV.
Like, share, subscribe, all that. We're out. Everyone take it easy. Peace.
Peace.
Hey folks, this is Dean from the Shirtless Plantain Show. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and follow us on all our socials. You can see them right beneath our recordings in every video. Thanks again, and see you on the next one.